Good morning, everybody. This is Lisa Lashendro. I am one of the annuity marketing directors here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. I know the invite came from Nicole Blaine, but she is out of the office today, so I'm going to be trying to fill her shoes. Hard thing to do. Good news is for you guys is that I've heard from several advisors that we sound alike. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've got Jay Brown here, and he is going to be talking about Delaware Life and kind of going over the product there. This is uh, somewhat new to Ims, but getting a lot of wonderful traction with this, and we want to make sure we're educating everybody about it as well. With that, I'm going to go ahead and start with a little bit of information about Ims for those of you that are new to the Ims family, shall I call it, or I like to call it, because you do feel like you're part of the family working and being contracted with Ims. But with that, some of you already have been working with us. I have a lot of names here that I recognize. So for you, welcome back. Always great to have you. And for those of you that this is your first webinar with us, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Working with Ims, when you first get contracted in the first 6 months, we like to provide you with a little thank you and put a little coin in your pocket to grow your business. I mean, working with us, that's really our goal with our advisors, help them reach their goals, exceed their goals, grow their business, whatever it is we can do to help you with that. And one of the things we do is our new producer builders program. So when you get contracted in the first 6 months, any business that you have written with us will put you at one of these levels. 100,000, could be 750,000, could be a million or plus, and these are just some examples of some of the things that we would give you once you hit one of those levels in your first 6 months. Now, these are just ideas. Some of you might just want $750 in cash or a $1,500 gift card. And that's totally fine. We can certainly arrange that, but you do get a lot more bang for your buck when you utilize our creative team. Maybe have a website rebuilt, maybe it's a postcard, mailer, maybe it's annuity leads or life leads or one of our lead programs. We just want to make sure that we're giving you the most bang for your buck and helping you get off on a right start with us here at Ims. Next, I don't know anybody that doesn't love a referral. Carriers love referrals, right, Jay? I love referrals, and I'm sure you do too. I don't think there's a better compliment than getting a referral. Well, Ims has an Ims Business Builders program. Basically, it's our referred producer program where we're going to give you a huge thank you and giving you, a $50 one-time bonus when your referral agent gets contracted, $1,000 when they write, additional business. And then for the lifetime of them being a referral and you being contracted with us, we're going to give you a slight override on all the business that they write as well. Just a continued thank you for referring them over here to Ims. And without you, we probably may have never met. So just want to make sure that we're giving you a little something back for that business. Next, for those of you that have never worked with us, once you start working with us, you will agree that our back office support is top notch, best in the industry. I'm telling you. Big part of that is, us here, Ims, I call it again, the Ims family. You're going to have everything at your fingertips, whether that is, needing life and annuity quotes, whether that's, coaching a little bit through a strategy or case design or forms or just getting status on your cases that you already have in house. We're going to take care of all of that for you. And really, our back office support is designed for you to be out in front of folks. That's what I tell my guys. I don't want you on the phone with carriers for day in and day out when we can do that for you. We would rather have you have, positive activity and and be out talking to people, because that's really what you're good at. And that's what, that's what's going to bring in the revenue for you and us both. So we have that back office support to help you do that. Along with our back office support, we have our IMS website. I love our website. I love walking people through our website because it's super easy. If I can do it, you can do it for sure. But just go to www.imsinc.com, get yourself registered. I think it's just a couple things you fill out: your name, maybe a phone number, and an email address, and that's it, and you're registered. And once you get registered, you're going to have access to all sorts of tools. Term quoters, you have access to one of our annuity illustration platforms. You have access to sales tools. Our sales resource library has a plethora of one-pagers or all approved material that you could use if you'd like, PowerPoints, all sorts of things. So take a minute, get on imsinc.com if you haven't already, and get yourself registered. There is a ton of information. If there's anything that you're looking for that you want us to coach you on, give your marketer or myself a call. I'd be happy to do that with you. In addition, on our website, one thing I didn't mention previously was our Firelight. This is one of the best programs out there for e-apps. And I'm telling you, if you use Firelight, you'll never use anything else, simply because doing or going through Firelight, I mean, I know of some apps and some carriers where you can turn business around, all in good order, of course, in 24 hours, 24, 48 hours. You can't do that with a paper app. Most carriers, you know, prefer that. We prefer it. We're able to manage those cases a lot better for you. You can get paid a lot faster. And to give you an idea, here's a list of carriers that we do have on our Firelight program. Now, Jay, I believe we're in the process of getting you guys on there as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys it's just tying the technology together. We're
Yeah.
probably, hopefully only days away, but it should be up there soon.
Yep, that's what the little birdie told me. So be prepared for you to be able to use Firelight for Delaware, and we'll keep going from there. Um, Y'all need to know about our creative marketing solutions team. Our creative team is just spectacular. I mean, I'm always amazed as to how awesome and how quick these guys are at, just a logo design. I have never seen a piece that they have sent out that I did not love. So if you are in need of any, like, say you want help with newsletters, postcards, revamping your website, maybe even creating a website, social media, all of those categories and things that um, are part of having a business, we can assist you with that. We don't vendor that out. All of these guys are in house. So you can call the same 800 number. We have the one number, just the 800 number. We don't have voicemail. You're going to talk to a live body. You tell them what you want, and we'll get you to that person. So definitely take advantage of our creative team. Another perk that you get with writing business with IMS is our retirement analyzer. Some of you may have heard of this program. It's definitely well known in our industry and used across our industry by a lot of our producers. But anyway, I mean, this is a great way for you to, keep track of your clients, show them how they can increase their income, show them where the tax shortfall is, all sorts of neat tools and spreadsheets and graphs that make the presentation look a lot more professional to the client, maybe easier to understand where their shortfall is. So just by writing business with IMS, we will pay for the cost for you to have Retirement Analyzer. If you have any other questions on that, just give us a call. I'll be happy to go over that with you. Also, with Ims, we have our Ims Wealth Management team, sister company to us. So years ago, Charles and Steve were kind of talking, what else could we bring to the table for our producers? Well, how about those producers that are not registered and have a need for securities for their client and don't want to refer that client out for another advisor to take take the rest of the business? Well, we've got our Ims Wealth Management team to help you with that. What if you have somebody that's securities licensed and, just wants help with the same type of service that IMS has, a lot more perks, easy to work with? Well, we can help you with that with IMS Wealth Management. The cool thing is that, we all work together, but if you are not a registered rep and you hand over some business to IMS Wealth Management for us to take care of it so you can keep that client in your own backyard and control that business. If you do change your mind, you want to get registered. Once you're registered, IMS Wealth Management is going to transfer that client right back to you, that business right back to you. So I don't know any other advisor that you're partnering with that will do that, but IMS Wealth Management will. So if you have any questions with this, definitely let us know. And I think I do. I have a poll here. So I'm going to launch this poll. If you want more information with IMS Wealth Management, please select yes here now. And it'll probably be Duncan Smith or Zach or Charles that gets back to you and answers any of those questions. I do want to add, on top of us, helping you keep those clients in your backyard, they also do help our agents get registered. So if you're interested in taking the exam and getting that securities license, hit yes, and Duncan can go over the perks with that as well. Looks like most of you have voted, so I certainly appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll and keep moving along. We do have our next Top Producer Summit. Still have time to get qualified for that. Qualification period does end June 30th of 2022, but we're pulling out all the stops for our top producers on this trip. It's a Mediterranean cruise. So you'll be taking off in Rome, stopping at, I don't know, 6 or 7 different places, islands, and ending up in Venice, Italy. So a wonderful time, pulling out all the stops. It's going to top the line there. If you have questions about how to qualify, it does take 4.5 million to qualify, but a few large cases put together and, you can get there sooner than you think. So if you have any questions on that, give us a holler. Ooh, next is our Life and Annuity Academy. I'm excited about this because we have just sent out the registration form for our next academy that is going to be in early April. I'm going to send out a poll on this too while I'm talking about it, but basically, launch that. Basically, we pay for it all. So we fly you out to Des Moines. We pay for the transportation, hotel, food, drink, the whole bit. You can leave your pocketbooks or your wallet at home. It's a 2-day training. You're going to be schmoozing with other successful producers in our industry that will attend as well. Hearing from some of the best in the industry. And the goal is for you to walk away with tools, strategies, and ideas to grow your business. That's really the outcome that we're looking for. So if you are interested in getting registered and haven't seen the registration come across your email yet, click yes here and we'll make sure that we get that over to you. All right, and with that, obviously we're a marketing organization, so we have Facebook and LinkedIn. These are our links. I encourage you all to join us on Facebook, join us on LinkedIn, share our pages, get the word out. We're happy to help anybody and share information that we have with the industry, with what's working, with new carriers like Jay. So with that, I am going to switch my screen over to Jay. Jay, are you ready for me?
I am. I'm just gonna Wait, okay, show my screen here. Perfect.
And I am going to, so Jay, if you're okay with it, we'll just save questions for the end and then hit those off then.
Sure, sure. Can you see my screen okay? Can you see it?
I see your screen.
Perfect. All right. So thank you very much for the intro here, and thank you guys for all attending today. I'll get into the standard view here so you can see everything. I'm going to go over a little bit about who we are. This is what I call our carrier product performance. Presentation here from Delaware Life. My name is Jay Brown. I'm the Vice President for the IMO channel, so I handle the IMS relationship here. We're excited to have them on board, and we're an organization that doesn't really add new partnerships, so we were very excited to get the interest from the IMS group and also to finally bring them on board. So it's nice to have a new relationship here today. So hopefully something that gives you guys an advantage in the field, because there's not a lot of other agents per se that might have access to this product line due to our limited distribution model. So as an organization, Delaware Life is an A- carrier. We've been an A- since 2013. So just really want to make a couple points here for you guys to get comfortable with Delaware Life, so that when you get the question of who is Delaware Life, because you're never really going to see the Delaware Life logo or advertisements during the Masters or anything like that. We don't do large scale marketing or have large marketing budgets or advertisements or things like that. So we pretty much put all of our financials into our product line. And that's why you'll see us maintain competitive rates, offer competitive renewals, because we keep our expenses to a minimum. So the first thing is we are the old Sun Life. In August of 2013, the U.S. wing of Sun Life Annuities and Life Insurance was sold off, and that's what we became. We're now a U.S.-based, privately held organization where Sun Life was a Canadian-based, publicly held company. So we service about $43 billion worth of assets from those days. We got index annuities, variable annuities, all going back to the late 80s under the Keyport name, under the Sun Life name. So there's quite an existence of business here. We've maintained an A minus from AM Best, triple B plus, from S&P with a stable outlook. Now, to date, we've sold $16 billion across our focus products here, which are going to be retirement stages 7, target income, and target growth, which is what I'm going to go on to next. But yeah, we've sold about $16 billion, under this Delaware Life name, which I think is a pretty powerful story in itself, because once again, no advertisement, no huge marketing campaigns. We're not spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on billboards and newspaper articles and online stuff. This is all done through agents and our IMO partners and really referrals and word of mouth. So really strong story there. One of the things this doesn't show is we've entered the variable annuity space, but we're in our early stages there as well. So it's a place that we're starting to work into a little bit. So from an organization standpoint, please just remember, we are pretty big in the industry. We have $43 billion worth of assets under management. We're relevant. We're a top 15 carrier in the industry, and we're very stable. We've had an A minus. We've had an A minus for a while, so we're not someone who's new to the game. We have, years and years and years of experience in this field, just not the normal name recognition of an Athene, Allianz, John Hancock, or someone like that. So we are the old Sun Life, and perfectly fine with you guys saying that to your clients as well, because we do understand the old Sun Life name is a recognizable entity in the financial sector. So perfectly fine with that. So that's the carrier understanding who we are, a little bit of our background. So it makes it a little bit easier to have the conversations when you start to kind of come to fall in love with our product design, which is extremely simple, extremely client friendly, and very straightforward. So I'm going to spend the most time here on our first product, Retirement Stages 7. Because what you're going to see is the chassis that we built for this is very similar to the chassis on the other 3 products that I'm going to go over. So once you have the understanding of one of our products, you know 90% of our other products as well. So this is a 7-year index annuity. It has an enhanced minimum surrender value built into it, and really what that is, it's a 1% compounding growth on 100% of the premiums paid in to the contract. So you're going to have your account value silo, then you're going to have your surrender value silo, and that grows at 1% per year. When you illustrate that, that gives them a nice, comfortable position in the minimum section that worst case scenario, this contract is going to make money over the years it's in. As your CDSC charge declines, and for some reason, if over 5-6 years the indexes that are invested never show any return, the contract will still grow at a 1% compounding rate. So that's built into the contract free of charge. The return of premium rider is the only rider that's available on this, and that, like other return of premium riders, is going to guarantee the clients that worst case scenario, they can leave the contract whenever they like and still get the premiums that they paid in. The charge for that is 40 basis points. It's calculated off the account value each year, and charged for the 7 years of the surrender charge window. Once that window comes free and clear, at the end of the 7 years, this charge automatically comes off because there's no use for the rider anymore. We do get a lot of people who ask about it, who run illustrations with it, who look into it, but we really only see about a 10 to 15% actual take rate on it. So just the only feature that you can add that is an additional charge. So if you do not add the optional return of premium rider, this contract will cost, and like our other contracts as well, will cost your client nothing. There is no administrative fee, there is no other hidden fee, there's no other ownership fee or anything like that, no $35 a year or no other percentages. So if this is used for straight accumulation, this product will cost your client nothing with the enhanced minimum surrender value built in, and also a bailout endorsement as well. So we launched this in September 2015. So this year we're going to come up on our first ones that are hitting their 7-year marker. So kind of makes me feel old because I was part of building this product out in 2014 for a launch in 2015. So I can't believe it's actually going to come to its first full cycle of 7 years, but it's done well for us. It's been our #1 product across the board. So it's great in design, and we see a lot of sales in it. Here's your standard eye chart. I'm going to show you a resource after this where you can get all this information. We'll, of course, provide IAMS with the copy of the presentation if you ever do want to take a look at this information. But I'm going to show you the resources where you can actually access this without even having to log in or anything like that. So pretty standard. We go ages 18 to 80, and so that's 80 and 363 days. We will not issue contract at 8 once they turn 81. But from 18 to 80, they can have it. Our qualified plan types are non-qualified, IRA, SEP IRA, so they can start and convert over SEP IRA, and a Roth IRA as well. This is the same across all our products, so we keep it pretty simple there. We do allow for Roth conversions. They just have to be full conversions, okay? So we can do that for you. Minimum on this product is 10,000 with a max of 1 million. The max is flexible. If you want to go over 1 million, please let us know. We'll have to review the situation very quickly and have an answer for you. But at certain, especially early to mid part of the year, there's always that desire for business. So I haven't seen one of these, a large case like that, be turned away yet. 7-year declining withdrawal charges and a free amount of 10% after year 1. Once again, this product was designed in 2014 for release in 2015, so it's a little bit older of a chassis. So the free amount is 10% after year 1. One of the major differences between this one and the next one I'm going to talk about, our 10-year product, is that the 10-year product has 10% free in year one. Okay. Nursing home and terminal illness waivers are built into it free of charge. So once again, everything on this is free unless you add the ROP. And of course, commissions. We're never going to be the highest commission payer because we believe in keeping a lot of value in our rates, and you'll see that in a second. But we do offer very competitive structures, and you'll see most common is option number one, which is 5% upfront. But what's also very common as people build out their books of business with us is option number three, and that is 1% upfront with a 1% trail. And that 1% trail is paid for the lifetime of the contract, of the actual account value, not the CDSC window. So if your client buys a retirement stage of 7 and you select this option, you will be paid the 1% trail for however long they hold it, whether that's 10 years, 20 years, or whatever. It will continue to pay out. And that trail is calculated on the account value. So you can see over time how I've had a number of agents who I've worked with who have become larger producers of Delaware Life products who have converted their business to call it 50% option one and 50% option three in their sales for the year. And they're doing pretty well collecting trail money over on the contracts that they've sold. This will also be available on our 10-year as well. So some pretty decent trail commission options that we offer, and haven't really had any complaints, that's for sure. So in regards to the rates, this is the absolute paramount part of these contracts is how competitive and how aggressive can we be. And you can see right now we have a 5% cap on our S&P options. These are 3 individual options, so you have 6 individual options to choose from. So our S&P 1-year cap's at 5%, our S&year participation is 32%, and our S&year performance trigger is 4.25. And how the performance trigger works is very straightforward. You're just pretty much stating that you expect the S&P to be positive for the year, for the 1-year point to point. And then your client would get 4.25. So if the S&P is up 1% for the year, your client gets 4.25. If the S&P is up 7% for the year, your client will get a 4.25% return. So that's how that one works. So some nice options to diversify amongst there. In our proprietary indices, we've kind of designed the product and selected indices that complement each other. So First Trust is a US-based option that is very heavily weighted in the tech sector. So this is kind of our tech-focused NASDAQ fund. It comes in a 1-year point-to-point with participation, and the participation's 85%, so very high. Morgan Stanley is our global momentum-based option that runs US, European, and Japanese sectors as well, and they can range from soybeans to oil to interest rates and whatnot. So it runs a full gamut of sectors that invest in 11% each up to 99%, and then the extra 1% in a fixed option. And then this one is our momentum play. So you have your First Trust, which is your a little bit more aggressive value tech sector one. You have Morgan, which is your global momentum-based option combined with S&P buckets. So we do see a nice blend of people using these different options. Very rarely do we see someone come in and go 100% into one. If that's usually the case, it's usually the S&P because they're the most comfortable with. But at the end of the day, these other indices are always designed to track and beat the S&P performance if they can. So they do complement each other very well. The last thing I'd like to point out here is the fixed bucket is 1 year as well, and we have a rate on that right now of 2.1. And why we do that is we try and keep a competitive 1-year fixed option so that if you did have a client that was a little bit more conservative than your standard client and was looking to go maybe into a fixed investment of some type, that you could offer them a hybrid option in a certain way. So you say, well, you're looking at this, this 5-year MIGA, 7-year MIGA that's 2.8 or 2.9 or in that range. What if we looked at an index product and we started with a portion a larger portion of your money at a fixed rate of 2.1 and the other, let's say, in the first trust. So that maybe you could net a return that's higher than, let's say, a MIGA rate or something like that. So we've seen a lot of advisors, and we set it up that way to use it as a pivot point to get people out of a product that might be overly conservative for them. Like a 56 or 57-year-old looking at a MIGA, or, something with a 2.5% rate or even a 3% rate. The index space is designed to return the 4.5, 5 really to 6.5, 7% range. So, someone who's a little bit younger or has a little bit more flexibility from an asset standpoint should be looking at something a little bit more aggressive than a fixed product. So that's retirement stages 7. So 7 years, simple in design, no fees. One thing that I forgot to mention, which is a huge factor, and I apologize, is that retirement stages 7 is also, and the rest of these products are as well, a flexible premium non-rolling surrender product. And let me see if I can show that here. Yes, sorry. So this minimum additions are $500 a year. So what does that mean? That means that our products you can continue to add to for the lifetime of the contract, not the CDSC window, but the lifetime they hold the product. So they could add money in year 2, they could add money in year 10, however they'd like to. And the non-rolling surrender means that if you started a contract here on February 17th, 2022 in a 7-year term, no matter what additional money they put in, this product would be free on February 17th, 2029. So yeah, it's nice and simple in that sense. You're not going to see each individual payment have its own 7-year period. It's all just based solely off of the issue date. So it works very well for us. So Target Growth 10 is our focus product for this year. The 10-year space is where we really need to improve our sales and improve our focus. So we've seen a modern chassis design for Target Growth 10 combined with strong competitive rates, and we're seeing a great turnaround in this product and a lot of success in this year for sure. This we rolled out in June 2020, so right in the middle of COVID here, so it was great timing, of course. Instead of an enhanced guarantee surrender window on this one, we did a GMAV, which is really the equivalent of a guarantee that at the end of the 10 years that the account value is going to be 10% higher in a worst case scenario. So for some reason, if they give us $100,000, worst case scenario at the end of 10 years, they're going to have $110,000 in actual cash value that they could withdraw at that point in time, or they could continue to invest and gain assets off of. In addition to the First Trust and Morgan Stanley, we also added a top performing index through Richard Bernstein Advisors, Select Equity Yield. So it's obviously US based and heavily focused on equity options. It had a great year last year. It did about 8.5%. So, a good start for us with this product in the last 2 years. So like retirement stage 7, very similar in design. So 18 to 80, non-qual IRA, SEP IRA, Roth IRA. Because it's a 10-year product, we have a minimum of 25,000 on this one, but there's a little flex there too. So if you had a situation where you had someone who had 20,000 to start it, but was looking to add another $5,000 or $10,000, and in year 1, come talk to us. We're definitely open to things like that because this is a flexible premium product. It doesn't have to be 25,000 on day 1 per se. We just like to have it, make sure they've put $25,000 into the contract in the first year. So declining this, like retirement stage 7, we got our standard states, we got our light states in regards to CDSC charges. We also have California on this product, like every other product, but for California, it's kind of funny. It's a 9-year, really. It's a 9-year surrender charge window. So year 10, the CDSC charge is 0%. RS7 and Target Growth 10 are available and approved in every state, except for the state of New York, which we will not be filing any products or attempting to do any business in. So other than New York, all of our products are approved in each state. So you don't have to worry about checking a state grid or anything like that. The only thing the state grid's going to tell you is if it's a standard state or a light state from the CDSC window. GMAV we talked about, it also has a bailout built into it, and commissions options. So commission 7% upfront, so pretty good for a 10-year. Also, you have a couple other options here, a little higher upfront with a lighter trail, for a little middle upfront with a middle trail, and then of course the one-on-one. And I just will reiterate on the one-on-one, that 1% trail will pay out for the lifetime of the contract. So if someone holds this thing for 20 to 25 years, we will continue to pay the advisor on it. So this product is banded at 100,000. So you can see the focus for RS7 is probably someone who's a little bit more focused on a shorter term combined with like S&P options, whereas Target Growth is someone who's more in the $100,000 range or higher. We do have a good cap on it at 5.1%. For the S&Ps, but we do also have some amazingly strong caps, rates, and spreads on our proprietary indices. So for this product, Morgan Stanley is a 90% participation. First Trust is 95. So I mean, that's as close to 100 as you're going to get. Hopefully, we will see them as volatility comes down. Hopefully, we will see them in the 100 range. That would be great. Because that is, I think, the target for them, but we're getting there with it. And then the RBA Select Equity Yield only has a 50 basis point spread. So if this thing were to do, call it 12% for some reason, we take the first 50 basis point and the client would net an 11.5% return. So you can see the potential upside, the potential accumulation growth, how strong it is in a 10-year product like this with highly competitive rates. Now, one thing that always seems to come up is, well, Jay, these rates look good right now when you sell them in year one. But I've had experience with other carriers before where those rates don't hold. Well, we price these and hedge these things for the duration of the contract. It's not a guarantee that they're going to stay the same, but we advertise, and I'll show you where we actually do it. We do advertise our renewal rates. We take a lot of pride in it, and we think it's a huge differentiator for us in the industry, and that's why we've retained so many agents through the years. We understand the game of the teaser rates, and we've seen other carriers do it before, giving you those great rates up front, and then all of a sudden you have an S&P cap, call it by year 4, year 5, that's like 2.5%. Well, now the client really can't make any money unless they're going into other indices that they're not necessarily as comfortable with. We don't do that. You see probably the most 30 to 40 basis point swings in that downwards, and it can even go up. We've actually raised them over new money rates before. It's one of the ways we've been able to differentiate ourselves from other carriers in the space and maintain some good relationships. So I think it's a testament to our design, our future thinking on these products, and also our commitment to the space. We plan on being in the index space as a carrier for decades, not just a couple of years or so. So I'll show you where to see some of that.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
I do have a couple questions here. I think this is a
Yeah.
good spot to maybe
Yeah.
interrupt you, and I apologize. I know we're
No,
gonna wait
please.
till the end, but I've got one of the questions that came up in the box was, since lower rates have led to lower caps and par rates, how likely is that raising rates will do the opposite? And then what symbol for first trust cap? What's the symbol for the first trust cap strength index?
Sure. No, it's two great questions. Yeah, we're in a
Mhm.
unique time right now where we're seeing raising rates. So we're going to see the MIGA rates, which is really going to, and we've seen it before. I think we saw it a little bit last year, or it might have been 2 years ago. It all kind of blurs together now, where you're going to get in this interesting time where you're almost going to be better off or feel better off selling a MIGA because there's still volatility, but you have a fixed interest rate. Let's just make it easy, 5-year at 3%. Then you go, geez, I look at an S&P cap and it's only at 5. Like, why would we take the risk for the extra 2%? Well, that's if you're focusing on the S&P cap. Most carriers design their products. The S&P is the one comparable piece across the industry. We get that. So we're all going to have it, and you're all going to have like a version of it for sure. But the proprietary indices seem to be the places that once your clients become comfortable and once you guys become comfortable in investing in them, that is a place where you can have the highest upside. That's really the place where you're seeing the 6, 7, 8% returns on average over the years, and I can show you some of that. So yes, hopefully, as the fixed rates increase, we should see some pressure, and some more competition in the MIGA space. Last time I saw this, we were then starting to edge up the index caps and participation rates to the 5.5 range, 6% range. So we'll see what that dictates. It's the volatility that sometimes impacts the index space ability to do that. So great question. I'm keeping my eye on it myself, so thank you for asking. I'm hoping to see some increases over the 5, maybe the 5.25 or 5.5% cap space, because that seems to be the cap option, and the S&P is more stable than, let's say, a participation rate, for example. But yeah, we should see some adjustments this year as rates start coming back up. In regards to the first trust question, what I've pulled up on the screen here is something we designed for our partners at IAMS. It's designed as a marketer view / agent view. Everything is set up on here to be agent focused as well. It just gives everyone a quick click. So, we'll distribute the web address at the end, but so, DelawareLife.com is our homepage. So I'll start here. We give you access to tons of information at your fingertips. So you click on products. You can come down here, retirement stages 7, and see the brochure, the current rate sheet, and then some information on the indexes. So, here's a piece we have on First Trust. Once again, without even logging in. If you wanted to get further in, and you can do this right now, mine changes over, but right around here, will be a light blue bar that says login and register. You do not have to be appointed with us. IAMS is in the drop-down box. You can just register for our website right now, and you'll go in, and here I'll show you. This is what it looks like. So you have illustrations. You can run illustrations. You can pull sales kits that you can print out, or the kits are actually fillable. So yes, Firelight might not be set up right now, but you can yourself, or you can have an administrator type out everything, so it's nice and clean. So you have access to all our marketing pieces on all our products in here. So let's go retirement stages 7, universal crediting method. So here's a piece on the different indices and how they work. S&P, Morgan Stanley, performance trigger. This one seems to be, for your clients to help them understand a spread or participation rate. So you have access to all these pieces today. And once again, you do not have to be appointed with us to get in here, for sure. Here's the First Trust piece I showed you and all that. So that's a layer right there. I'm just going to go back to the home page, excuse me here. That's off of our home page. On our microsite, which is kind of like our secret page for the marketers and for you guys, let me go to retirement stages 7. There's quick, clean access, no login required. So here's the current rates. Here's some of the information from the eye chart I showed you. Here, just a quick reference points. Oh, and here's the renewal rates. So like I said to you before, retirement stages 7, issued in September 2015. Here are the rates that were offered. S&P cap, look at that, 5%. So initial rate, 5%, September 2015. Renewed and 16 at 5, and 17 at 5, 18 at 5, 19 at 5, 2020 at 5. We haven't gotten to September 2000. Um, excuse me. We do have to update this piece, but yeah, we should have it right here. So here were those options right there. Here's the participation. At the time when it was issued, it was first offered in 2018. It would have been 20%. Then we actually bumped it up to 35 in 2019, less volatility. Then it came to 25. So it even went up over its initial participation point. You can see how these other ones have hold, started at 40, 35, 35, 35, etc. So we actually advertise our renewal rates because they're good. And that's what people want, is stability over the long run. They don't want great teaser rates and then back off. So I sidetracked a little bit. I'm going to show you. We believe in transparency, full disclosure of everything. If you can be transparent, disclose as much of the product information and performance information, there's no questions. So you can see unit values for these indices on each date. Here is a monthly piece for Morgan Stanley. Here is the monthly piece that we send out for First Trust. It's going to show you going back, 20 years. The year-to-date return right now is off. The 1-year return was 2.27 because they've been all over the place for this past year. But also you can go to their website as well. So you can click on it and it'll bring you to, it's taking a second right now, of course, because I'm in a presentation screen sharing. It'll bring you to the actual Barclays First Trust Index website. It's got videos on it, overview. So you can sit here, this is all public information. You can show your client one of these. You can use this yourself to take a look at. And then in here, yeah, it's like FTSE, FTCSB, FB or something like that. And you can pull it and put it into Morningstar. Bloomberg, and take a look at here. This gives you the whole combination. So these resources that we have here are, the best, the simplest, the most straightforward to use that we can give you, and allows you to, see everything. Here's the RBA. So 1-year return on RBA. I think I rounded up and said 8%, but it was 7.82. So, once again, if your client was in that last year and excuse me, cell phone ringing, and they were $100,000 or higher, they would have gotten only a 50 basis point reduction from the spread. So they would have gotten a 7.32% return. Pretty strong. Obviously, it's only mid-February right now, so we're only seeing so much on the year-to-date side. But the 1-year point-to-point was that. It's pretty strong stories. That's our microsite. Gives you access to all the product materials. Like I said, state availability. Going to show you in every state, and whether they are a standard state or a light state, which will show you here, and any kind of, California has the 3 because it's a product variation, etc. So these things are all available at your fingertips right now.
And I can vouch for that. I mean, obviously, Ims, we have, 70, 80 plus carriers, both on the life and annuity side, and this is pretty slick. This is real slick, super easy. I love easy. So if I can
Yes,
just get to what I'm looking for in a couple clicks, I'm a happy girl. So I will include the website here, Jay, when
great.
I follow up with everybody after our meeting here in the next day or so. So all they have to do is click and get registered or click and save it to their browser. But great stuff on this website.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I know I breezed through it pretty quickly and it can kind of come through a little choppy on your side, but honestly spend 5 minutes. If you can dedicate 5 minutes to just clicking on that link and playing around with it, you'll have 70 to 80% of what you need at your fingertips right there. I made that with my co-vice president, and so we just kind of stepped back and said, how can we make something from salespeople for salespeople? With eliminating all the extra insight from compliance, and we want to make sure everything's available and legal and all the all the documentation's correct. We
Mm-hmm.
don't want to break any rules, but how can we just do this so that it's actually a useful resource? And that's what we came up with. And simplicity is one of those things that we've benefited from the beginning as an organization. You can see the simple chassis design for the products. If it's easy for us to understand, advisors to understand, it's going to be make their clients' lives a lot easier, because it's not going to be these if-then scenarios, these curveballs, these gotchas, like, oh, you had to do this, or the wind has to be blowing 7 miles an hour south for you to take this withdrawal or get this step up. None of that stuff. Just make it straightforward and easy, and clients can understand it. Makes it easier for an advisor to sell and avoid problems down the road. Makes them future-proof in a lot of ways. So that was
Absolutely.
RS7 and Target Growth 10. The last accumulation product we have here, I apologize for clicking around a little bit here, is our Retirement Chapters 10. This was actually our first product. It came out in May of 2015. It's a 10-year with a 5% bonus. So we see a lot of traction in this product for people who are trying to bail out of something else, like they're in an index product or another type of product here that is has a high fee involved. They've been in it for 5, 6, 7 years of the 10 years, and they got 4%, 4.5% CDSC charge left. That this 5% bonus will help wipe that out. So we see a lot of people who are getting out of something that they're midlife cycle or end of cycle, and can bounce out of it, go into an accumulation product that once again has no fees. This one's flexible as well, so anything that comes in year one is going to get the 5% bonus, and that 5% bonus, I'll reiterate, is on the account value, the cash value of the contract, and not like some other income value or anything like that. So that's how this one works. $25,000 minimum, same standards. No one-on-one on this one because of the bonus, but we do have a 7% upfront comp for this one. So that is 99.9% what is taken on it. So you have access to the first trust. You have access to the momentum asset allocator, which is a Deutsche Bank indice, and comes in a 1 year and a 2 year. This is the only product that we have a 2 year point to point on, with decent participation rates. But of course, you'll notice right away that the caps, rates, and spreads aren't as competitive as, let's say, the Target Growth 10, or in some ways the Retirement Stages 7. Reason for that is the bonus up front is, and I don't know if carriers will ever say this to you, but I will, is just really a way of us fronting some of the interest, and how we equalize or make up for it on the long run of the 10-year contract is by offering slightly lower rates, caps, pars, and spreads. So that's kind of how it's done. Is, do you want the money more up front? Okay, then look at a bonus product. If you want to have potentially higher compounding accumulation over life of a contract, then you would probably want to forego the bonus and go for something that's straight accumulation with a good carrier that's going to maintain rates, caps, and spreads over the duration of the contract. So we give you a choice of both. And like I said, we see a lot of usage in this product for someone that, is in a product that has an income rider or something that they're paying for, or death benefit rider or something like that they're paying for, that they're just not going to use at the time they wanted it, or it sounded like a good idea, so they signed up for it, and now in real life, 5, 6 years down the road, they're never going to use it. So keep this one in mind. We do about 100 million in sales in this one each year. It's a good product. Our last product here that we have is going to have the same chassis built out as an accumulation product, because that's what we based off of, but it is a guaranteed income product. So it's a 10-year, has multiple commission options and a 3-tier rate structure. It's a 7% bonus on any of the monies that come in year one, and then, a 7% roll up, and then a 5% bonus on anything that comes in year one. And the charge for the rider is calculated off the benefit base amount, and it's only 1.05. So we try and give you a balance of a accumulation product with a strong guaranteed income rider on it. And you're going to see you still have access to all the indices. So this is minimum age is 50 on this one, up to 80. all the same other non-qualified IRA and SEP and Roth there as well. And 10-year term. It's 6.5% comp up front. And, there's different trail options as well, but most of the people take the comp up front, which is understandable. And how this one works is if you gave $100,000, by the end of the 10 years, it would be guaranteed to be worth $175,000 of your benefit base. That's the 5% bonus and 7% roll up. And then, it's a 4.5% payout factor at 65. So it's, competitive from an income standpoint, but really where it excels is how flexible it is. So like, it's not the payout factor, the benefit base amount is calculated daily. So, you wouldn't have to wait. If you're halfway through a contract year, you could turn the rider on and still get the benefit of the time you served for the 4 or 5 or 6 months, whatever it is. You wouldn't have to either go backwards from a benefit base amount or sit there and say, oh, geez, I got to wait, till next year to get the step up to really maximize it. It's done at a daily interval. It's very flexible in the sense where you don't have to tell us what type of life expectancy you're gonna do from the beginning. So you can buy this now and be single and find the love of your life. And your plan was to turn it on in 8 years, and now you want to retire and spend more time with this other person, so you can turn it on in year 4 and base it off of joint life because it's only a 60 basis point reduction to do so. So it is very flexible along your clients' lives because we understand in a lot of ways the plan you make today most likely will be impacted within a year or two's time by life events, divorce, death, marriage, health needs, early retirement, things like that, job loss. So we've designed a product that's pretty flexible amongst that. If your sole focus is income and income only, and that's all that the sale is, there are going to be better products out there. We can be very competitive with many of them, but what we find is, that plan that's made today isn't always necessarily what the client's needs are within about a year or two time down the road. So keep us in mind on this one, because this product, you can also cancel the income rider at any time the fee comes off it. And then you're pretty much left with an accumulation product. So I'll close with this. For a guaranteed income product, I'm going to reiterate, this product's design was based to be guaranteed income. You not only have access to other indices like Morgan Stanley, RBA, and First Trust, but in the tiers, you have highly competitive rates. This is unheard of in this industry. You usually see an income product with an S&P cap of 3, starting at 3. Then you get down to 2, 2.5 within a couple of years' time. You have access to the same accumulation indices that you see in Target Growth 10, you see in our $1 billion selling retirement stages 7 products with rates over $500,000. They can have 82% participation. That's better than our retirement stages 7 right now. RBA 0.75. That's slight 25 basis points worse than the top end of Target Growth. So if this thing returned 7-8% a year, their client would be getting 6.25 or 7.25% return. 87% participation rate on First Trust. So we do say yes, it's a guaranteed income product, but we absolutely did not forego accumulation. And one thing that I know I'm out of time that I usually like to show is how long the account value would last. So for someone who buys this at 60 and turns on income at 70, you'll see that by the time they're 95, they still have an account value in there. Using 500,000 to start and taking withdrawals from 70 to 95, they'll still have $300,000 left if they go into some of these more aggressive indices. So a real great story because that leaves a legacy behind. I think that's one of the things that's forgotten. People focus on income, but you actually want to be able to leave a death benefit behind at some point as well. So I'll
I
kind of
love
close.
that flexibility. I'm going to let you keep going. And while you're talking, I'm going to launch one last question because I know
Yeah,
we're running out of time here. But
yeah,
if you guys are looking for contracting for Delaware Life or want to have a call with Jay and myself or anything, go ahead and answer the poll that I just put up here and let us know, and we'll make sure we get that arranged for you. And why that poll is going, Jay, if there's any closing comments that you want to make.
yeah. No, I just want to thank you guys for your time. I know taking on a new carrier can, always raises some questions. I've been in the industry. I'm now 41, going on 42, and I've been in the industry for 20 some odd years. So this organization's been a great place for me from a career standpoint, where I was a bigger fish in a smaller pond when we got things started. So we really were able to build this out based off of build product design, build the whole service experience based off of the advisor's impression. And I think you'll see that as, like any carrier, there's always a couple little bumps and things it takes to get used to, but you'll see very easily that we do put a lot of money and a lot of effort into our focus of ease of doing business. We want to be as simple and straightforward to do business with because you just keep coming back. You might see a 5.25 cap over at company A, but you're going to see a 5.1 cap over here with good performing other indices and say, in the long run, this is always the better answer, and they're easy to do business with. I can reach out to someone and get someone on the phone. I can access contracts online nice and easily. So we are really building out to be not only a financial organization but a technology-based company to make things as easy as possible for you guys, and that's the plan. So we appreciate your feedback. Thank you guys for your time today, and I look forward to working with you in the future. And if you ever need me, feel free to reach out. I'm here.
Well, I know Ims is excited to have you on board as well. So, welcome to the family.
Thanks. Good to be
And
here. Good to be
yeah,
adopted.
yeah. But I know we're out of time here. Again,
Yeah,
everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. Jay, thank you for your time and
sure.
going over these products and options. Love the
Mhm.
flexibility, really love the transparency and the proven record that Delaware Life has, and that is a big deal for
Yeah,
clients. So love happy clients, happy advisors.
yeah.
So
That's how it works.
all right, everybody, have a good rest of the day. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, all.
See you. Bye.